Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Edu, and we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 30 May 2020. So let's start. So first news is Uttar Pradesh government to make 800-kilometer roads as herbal roads. Government of UP will be developing 800-kilometer roads which include national and state highways passing through the state as herbal roads. Under this scheme, medicinal and herbal trees will be planted along the roads on both sides. These herbal trees will include peepal, neem, sheja, along with other herb varieties like Brahmi, Ashwagandha and Jatropha. And this scheme, it will not only provide the raw material for the medicines, but it will also prevent soil erosion and promote biodiversity. Now let's see the question related to it. Which state government will develop national and state highways passing through it as herbal roads? And the option are Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and West Bengal. So correct answer is option A. As you all know, Uttar Pradesh. Next news is Uttar Pradesh government will sign an MOU with industry associations. So government of Uttar Pradesh will be signing a memorandum of understanding, a MOU, with many industry associations in order to create employment for migrant workers. And this MOU, it will be benefiting around 10 lakh skilled and semi-skilled workers, and it will also provide a boost to the MSME sector, that is micro, small, medium enterprises sector in Uttar Pradesh. Under this MOU, Indian Industries Association has asked for 5 lakh workers, while National Real Estate Development Council demanded for 2.5 lakh workers, and CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, has asked for 2 lakh workers. UP government has also started the mission for migrant workers with motto Har Haath Ho Kaam, Har Ghar Mein Rozgar, with an aim to provide employment to everyone. If we talk about Uttar Pradesh, it is the most populous state in India. Its capital is Lucknow. Present governor is Anandiben Patel and chief minister is Yogi Adityanath. The state has 75 districts, and talking about seats of Uttar Pradesh in Lok Sabha, it is 80, and in Rajya Sabha the seats are 31. The question related to it, which state government has started the mission for migrant workers with the motto Har Haath Ho Kaam, Har Ghar Mein Rozgar? And the options are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab. So answer, you all know, it's Uttar Pradesh. Next is, how many seats of Rajya Sabha are there in Uttar Pradesh? 25, 31, 40 and 19. So correct answer is option B, that is 31 seats are there in Rajya Sabha of Uttar Pradesh. You may have seen in past exams of SSC, CHSL, CGL that such type of questions are being asked, and you should also know that whenever you are studying any state news or any international news, if there is a country, if there is a state in news, then you should know about their capital, their governor, or basically their political, geographical and other dimensions, so that if question is asked from that, you can easily solve it. Next is, center removes restriction on export of paracetamol APIs. So central government has lifted a ban on exports of paracetamol active pharmaceutical ingredients APIs. On March 3, the government imposed restrictions on the export of paracetamol APIs and formulations made from the compound, that is paracetamol, to increase domestic supplies. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, so government wanted to ensure that the domestic supply doesn't hamper of paracetamol. Therefore, the government imposed restrictions of their export. And after that, in April, government removed the restrictions on shipments of formulations made from paracetamol. And now, the government has also removed the restrictions on export of API formulations. And for this, a notification was issued by Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT. And active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, it is the primary biologically active component which is present in a drug. And now we'll see something about Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT. It is an attached office of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and it is headed by Director General of Foreign Trade. DGFT was formed in 1991, and it is responsible for prohibition and control of imports, exports and promotion and facilitation of imports and exports in the interest of country. It formulates and implements the foreign trade policy, and its headquarters are located in New Delhi. Now the question related to it. Directorate General of Foreign Trade is an attached office under which ministry? Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Home Affairs. So the correct answer is option B, that is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Next news is International Day of UN Peacekeepers, 29 May. So every year on 29 May, International Day of UN Peacekeepers is celebrated, and this day is celebrated to recognize the contribution of uniformed and civilian personnel to peacekeeping. The day it also honored more than 3,900 peacekeepers who have lost their lives while serving the organization since its inception in 1948. United Nations General Assembly has passed a resolution 57 by 129 to designate 29 May as the International Day of UN Peacekeepers to mark the establishment of first UN peacekeeping mission on 29 May 1948. Theme for International Day of UN Peacekeepers 2020 is, this theme is important, Women in Peacekeeping are Key to Peace. And along with this, UN Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award 2019 has been presented jointly to women peacekeepers from India and Brazil, and this is a proud moment for India. For the first time, the award is being presented jointly, and Major Suman Gawani of the Indian Army, Commander Carla Monteiro de Castro Araujo of the Brazilian Navy will be honored with this award. The United Nations Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award, it was created in 2016 to recognize the efforts of an individual military peacekeeper in promoting the principles of UN Security Resolution 1325. Question related to it. When is the International Day of UN Peacekeepers observed every year? 5 June, 22 March, 14 November and 29 May. So the correct answer is 29 May. On 5 June, World Environment Day is celebrated. On 22nd March, World Water Day is celebrated. 14 November is celebrated as World Diabetes Days. And 29 May, International Day of UN Peacekeepers is observed. Next is Women Peacekeeper from which country will be awarded the UN Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award 2019. And the options are Brazil, India, Sri Lanka, both A and B. So, women peacekeepers from both India and Sri Lanka will be awarded this UN Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award 2019. Next is database being prepared under Swamitva scheme. So Swamitva scheme, which was inaugurated, launched by PM Narendra Modi on 24 April on a pilot basis. So under this scheme, 10 districts of Madhya Pradesh have been selected as pilot projects for the first year. Madhya Pradesh government will be preparing a database under this scheme, and the aim of this scheme is to provide land ownership rights to people in rural areas. The word Swamitva, you can relate to it that it is related to something ownership rights. So the aim of this scheme is to provide land ownership rights to people in rural areas. And the database prepared will be used to prepare land right records and property register of rural settlement at the panchayat level. The Survey of India will do the survey work through the panchayat and rural development and revenue department. The scheme, so that is Swamitva scheme, will also help the property owners to access loan from the bank easily, as they'll be having proper recorded ownership rights. And another advantage of this scheme is that the Gram Panchayats will also get financial resources at the local level. So this scheme will not only benefit people of rural areas, but it will also help the Gram Panchayats to get the financial resources at the local level so that it can take up more development activities in rural areas. Question related to it. Swamitva scheme recently in the news is related to providing land ownership rights to people in rural areas, providing employment to rural migrants, providing a loan to self-help groups, or providing health insurance to rural migrants. So the correct answer is option A, that is Swamitva scheme. It is related to providing land ownership rights to people in rural areas. Moving to the next news. ADB and India sign US $177 million loan deal to upgrade major roads in Maharashtra. So Asian Development Bank and Government of India has signed a deal of US $177 million loan, and this deal is related to upgrading 450 kilometer of state highways and major district roads in Maharashtra. And under the Maharashtra State Road Improvement Project, 2 major district roads and 11 state highways across 7 districts will be upgraded to 2-lane. And with this move, the connectivity will be enhanced to national highways, interstate roads, rail hubs, industrial regions, seaports, airports, etc. And it will also enhance the mobilization of people. And under the project, Maharashtra Public Works Department project staff, they will be trained to build the capacity in climate change adaptation and disaster resilient features in road design, road maintenance planning, and road safety. As we all know that the major thing is that the climate is changing, and now the natural disasters, they occur suddenly, and for that we need the structures to be disaster resilient. So the training of these staff will be done keeping in mind these aspects. Talking about Asian Development Bank, so it is a regional development bank that aims to eradicate extreme poverty. This was formed in 1966. Its headquarters are located in Mandaluyong, Philippines, and it's currently 68 countries are its members. Now let's see the question. Recently, the government of India has signed a loan deal worth US $177 million with which institution to upgrade major roads in Maharashtra? And the options are World Bank, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Asian Development Bank, and New Development Bank. So the correct answer is option C, that is Asian Development Bank. Next is 13 special flights to bring Indians stranded in Gulf region as part of Vande Bharat mission. Under the Vande Bharat mission, 13 special flights are scheduled from Gulf countries to India, more than half of which are from the UAE. So Vande Bharat mission, you all know that it is one of the largest evacuation exercises of the government, and the mission aims to bring all those Indians which are stranded in foreign countries due to COVID-19 and lockdown. And these flights, they'll bring back around 2000 Indians stranded in Gulf countries. And also a flight of Air India will also bring back around 150 Indians from Sri Lanka under this mission. And this is the first flight under the mission from Sri Lanka to India. INS Jalashva under Operation Samudra Setu, it will bring 700 Indian nationals from Sri Lanka, which will be the first voyage ship from the island nation. And you all know Operation Samudra Setu, it was started by Indian Navy, and INS Jalashva and INS Magar are part of it. And this also aims to bring all the Indian nationals from which got stranded due to COVID-19 and lockdown. Now a question related to it is, under which mission 13 special flights have been scheduled from Gulf countries to India to bring back Indian citizens stranded in the region? So the options are Ghar Laut Chalo mission, Samudra Setu mission, Vande Bharat mission, and Vatan Chalo mission. So the correct answer for this is option C, that is Vande Bharat mission. Next is Larry Kramer passed away at the age of 84. So Larry Kramer, an American author, film producer, and public health advocate, has passed away at the age of 84. He was co-founder of Gay Men's Health Crisis, the world's largest private organization that helps people living with HIV or AIDS. He was the first to advocate national response to AIDS when it first emerged in the 1980s. He also co-founded the ACT UP movement that made AIDS a national issue. Now the question. Recently, Larry Kramer passed away. He was an American economist, author, painter, and mathematician. So the correct answer is option B, that is he was an American author. Friends, personality in news, these are very important as questions have been asked in past, and there are probabilities that such questions can be asked in future also. So you have to be prepared for such questions because it can be asked in any form. Moving to the next news. Lok Sabha Speaker nominates associate members of Delimitation Commission. So 15 MPs, Member of Parliaments, have been nominated as associate members of Delimitation Commission for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir along with Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Manipur by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. And these associate members, they'll be helping the Delimitation Commission panel to decide the parliamentary and assembly constituencies of the northeastern states and the union territory. These members are nominated under Article 5 of the Delimitation Act of 2002 to redraw parliamentary and assembly constituencies of the 4 northeastern states and the union territory. Dr. Jitendra Singh and Dr. Kiran Rijiju are the 2 union ministers who have been nominated as associate members. Dr. Jitendra Singh along with Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Mohammad Akbar Lone, Hasnain Masoodi and Jugal Kishore Sharma have been nominated for Jammu and Kashmir. At present, we all know Jammu and Kashmir has no legislative assembly, but it is a union territory with the provision of a legislature. The constituencies of Jammu and Kashmir, it will be delimited according to the provisions of Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, according to which Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, they were separated and formed as 2 union territories. According to the section 60 of the act, the seats in Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly, they have to be increased from 107 to 114. On March 6, the Delimitation Commission was constituted, headed by former Supreme Court Judge Ranjana Prakash Desai and Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra and State Election Commissioners of Jammu and Kashmir and the 4 states as its ex officio members. So this information is important about the Delimitation Commission which is formed. Talking about Delimitation Commission, so Delimitation Commission, it is appointed by President so as to determine the number and boundaries of constituencies. Also, the commission identifies the seats reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. And this Delimitation Commission, it is comprised of retired Supreme Court Judge, Chief Election Commissioner and respective state election commissioners as its ex officio members. So question, who appoints the Delimitation Commission? Prime Minister, President, Speaker of Lok Sabha and Chief Justice of India. So the correct answer is option B, that is President. So you would have come across such type of questions in other examination in the general awareness section. So these questions, basically the things which are in news, so they can ask the question from its static portion or they can directly ask from the current affairs section. So you have to be prepared for both things, like for static also and for the current part also. So read current affairs comprehensively so that the static portion also gets covered, and if some question is asked, you will be able to solve that. Next is, which union minister has been nominated as the associate member of the Delimitation Commission for Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir? And the options are Jitendra Singh, Nitin Gadkari, Arjun Munda and Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. So the correct answer is option A, that is Jitendra Singh. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs of 30 May and I hope you like this video. Keep following daily current affairs series because current affairs are an important part of your preparation. So you don't have to skip it. Follow it daily. Also subscribe to our channel Pendulum EDU and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications. Keep preparing with us. All the best. Thank you.